Oh, no, there we go. Hello there guys and welcome to GRL Season 3 for GP2. This is round 9 at the famous Red Bull Ring here in Austria. This is Itzville 17 and I am alongside with Sam Fuller. Sam, how are you doing?
Not bad, mate, not too bad. Looking forward to this race.
I think everyone's looking forward for this race because throughout the past races this is getting closer and closer for the championship.
Yeah, it sure is.
As we will find out, as I think everyone will be retiring, so we will be skipping Q1.
Yeah, they'll load up their serves and they'll drop out. Q1's basically pointless.
That's true. So as we're waiting for 4 drivers to retire, we do have a debutant, which is UEF Chrome, who has been recently tested this week, and he's hoping to have a very good performance here at Austria.
Yeah, I noticed I took that seat in the Merc. That was my old seat when I raced in GP2. Yeah, I dropped down from GP2 to GP3 in France. And I used to race in the Merc alongside Scott.
Yeah. But anyway, as we all possibly know, if you feel like, feel free to ask us any questions. If people who are watching the stream, just feel free to message Sam Fuller, and we'll try and answer the questions as best as we can. As it looks like Paraquix is doing a sight lap around Austria, seeing if there's no weather changes, which seems to be none at the moment. So here we go for the standings at the moment of GP2. Paraquix is at the top for Ferrari with 154, with Top Gunner narrowly 64 points behind him with 90. Sotia Clock is in third with 87, with Smithy for only 1 point behind him with 86. Rangarich is in seventh. No, not seventh, is in fifth with 77, with AMG Kosher with 58. And that rounds up with the top 6. For the constructors, Scuderia Ferrari is in the lead with 206 points, with Force India in second with 164. Some of the mid-card teams, such as Williams and Renault, they are getting closer to Force India, with Williams being only 19 points away from Force India, with Renault being 22 points behind Williams.
Yeah, that'll be disallowed out there from Power on Mastery 1 in that last corner.
Well,
He's just testing the waters to see.
Yeah, he's testing the waters to see what the track evolution is like, which we do have some good respect for people that does that at this moment. We haven't been given also any further updates on some of the F1 teams, but we will also be keeping you posted with that as well, getting some inside updates. I think at the moment, based on updates, GP 1.1 has made the most updates to their cars. Quite surprisingly, I was expecting the lower divisions to make some more updates rather than GP 1.1, but it does look like that GP2 is showing more consistency over 1.1.
Yeah, definitely.
So as we are now going to be starting Q2, and it does look like the clouds are getting a little bit more thicker in the air as Manzi has retired.
Yeah, they do look a little heavier.
As Manzi's retired from the session, as he kind of knows that he has been given it was a qualifying ban. I think it was because of what happened in France. So that means we will have
France's race.
So we'll be having
I
12
don't remember what
drivers.
happened with Manzi.
I don't have a clue what happened with Manzi at France at GP2. But my guess is thinking that it isn't that very good. As it looks like Sotir Clock is out first.
4 of the cars are out onto the track straight away.
So far at the moment, Paraquix is leading the Drivers' Championship, as we are almost halfway into the third season of GRL. And it has been showing some minor improvements at Paraquix from last season, in Season 2. So like he shows some good quality pace here at GP2 as well. So, for the predictions of who will be knocking out, who will be knocked out of Q2, Sam, who do you think will be the unlucky ones around this track?
With it being a very short lap, you can never read the prediction on it, you know. But there is very little margin for error around the Red Bull ring. So my bet is that 2 cars are going to retire, and that's going to be the section Q3. I don't think it's going to be based on lap times. I don't think there'll be people jumping in and out from the drop down zone. I think generally 2 people are going to retire and then at the back of the grid because there is very little margin for around here. And there's a very big corner 1 and corner 2 are very on and off power.
Yeah,
it's very easy to spin yourself around outside them 2 corners, and that to me is probably going to be the turning point for this qualifying session.
Yeah, I think it could actually be a good turning point for the qualifying session because of the turn 2. But I think another corner that could possibly be a turning point for getting your lap times is turn 9 on that last corner.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It being very sudden. Yeah, as you can see,
yeah,
Clock's point of view, going on to turn 8 now onto turn 9, it's quite sudden, and then a little bit of wheel spin and oversteer on the exit as Clock crosses the line for the 106.1.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of too much speed going into that corner can ruin not only the lap you're on now, but the lap you're going to do if you do try and go for a second lap, because it's at that point in the track where it disqualifies you for the current lap and the next lap.
Yeah.
That could be a big game changer for the drivers if they are pushing the car to its limits, trying to get them extra few yards on the braking points and put that extra little bit of speed in every corner to get them fastest lap times. This could be a big game changer for the drivers.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. It's going to be a big game changer for qualifying laps, as 4 drivers at the moment have set their lap times. Q2, so the clock started off with a 1:06.141. Then Top Gun being it by a quarter of a tenth with a 1:06.116. Lovely Colt actually set the fastest lap before Been Emotional with a 1:06.024. And then Been Emotional did a 1:05.880. And then So Did Clock replies with a 1:05.515. So it does look like that Clock is trying to get the angle of the track limits around the Red Bull ring.
Yeah, last week was I think we saw Clock and Colt battle out for the pole position around France, and I mean personally, I think that was an excellent qualifying session there for the 2 drivers. I think Colt beat him by literally, I think it was something stupid like 15 thousandths of a second. I think Clark definitely knows he's a bit around the track, and he definitely does know them limits. As you see there, he's replied like, with a faster lap to be emotional, and I think he's a very, very fast learner when it comes to the track limits and things around that margin, with how fast he can actually get on the track, because no doubt now he's going to probably come back into the garages, then come back out and best his lap again, like most drivers will. But you see there, they are setting it on the harder of the two compounds that we're seeing, the super soft and neutral soft.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the point of where they're gonna go on the super softs and maybe sit there and keep that time, because I think right now I'm not really sure if they're all safe with 1 minute 5s, because I mean they were setting, there was 1 minute 4s in GP3, so I think if some of these drivers do push the car as hard as they can, we could potentially be seeing like low 1 minute 4s. So I don't think
I'll have to agree with you.
Now, and I think
Yeah. It's going to be hard to predict on who's going to be safe and who's not going to be safe because of how close the lap times is going to be. As Smithy crossed the line with a 1 minute 5.774.
Did miss out on the debut in Chrome going fastest there with the 1 minute 5.432. I mean that is a quick benchmarking lap in my opinion. I mean I was getting them as average laps when I was in time trial.
Yeah.
So that is a quick lap for a benchmarker.
It is a very, very quick lap. I do have to agree with that. And it does actually look like that Paraquicks has set it in lap time as well with a 1 minute 5.517. And not only that, Chill also set a lap time with a 1 minute 5.642.
I mean, that's the top 6 drivers all in the space of like 4.5 tenths. I mean, if that doesn't show you how tight this qualifying section is going to be, I don't think anything will. And we've only got 3 of the drivers in 1 minute 6s, and they are very, very low 1 minute 6s as well. I mean, the slowest time being a 1.6.1. That is a very, very slow, a very, very quick lap. Sorry, for a person who's in last position essentially.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you at that point. And it looks like Orn's done a 1 minute 6.165. Goes 10th at the moment with 7 minutes 10 seconds to go. Discreetly and AMG Kosher are on their outlap right now. So we'll go on to AMG Kosher in the papaya orange McLaren, hot McLaren Renault. Very close to saying McLaren Honda. Well, that was last year.
So here we are as discreetly as flying lap. Yeah, I think it is.
Yep, he's got his DRS open. As AMG Kosher goes now I do quite like.
Second.
I do actually like Kosher's line at turn 1. He misses the apex, but doesn't run wide. I think that's very, very clever from Kosher to take turn 1. Because mostly you see people to try and take it as wide as possible and then try and cut across and hit the apex just very finely and gain like about, I don't know, about 2 tenths, 3 tenths or whatnot.
Yeah.
But for Kosher to avoid the apex of turn 1, you can get on the power a little bit more earlier and you won't be fearing the car to go wide as much.
Yeah.
As discreetly crosses the line with a 1 minute 5.540.
I think this might be quite a quick lap from Kosher. I mean, 1 minute 5.667. I mean, that, considering it looked like quite a conservative lap to me, the way he took turn 1, and he wasn't really using the curbs a lot around that first sector, which in my opinion is how we get round the track quite quickly. I mean, I know I definitely like to get my wheels onto the curbs, but I mean we didn't see a lot of that from Kosher there, and I think that's quite an achievement for him being able to jump in the top 5 with a lap that seemed very conservative.
Yeah, it seems to be getting the hang of it without not pushing the car as much. and not as
Yeah, I mean,
risking an invalidated lap time. So I think that's a very, very
yeah,
good,
like, he's
clever.
being very careful with the track limits there. And I mean, to join in right in the mix of the 1 minute fives, I mean,
Yeah,
that I
and it
don't know
does
how.
look like
Oh, is
that
that a
horn
retirement from Honda there?
has retired. So it
You
does
see,
look
like I said,
like
there's now only room for one driver to
we
be
won't.
kicked out of the session. So maybe that's
Yeah,
only one retirement. You know what I mean?
this could be a very, very big fear for the people that's only done a 1 minute 6. In the 1 minute 6s, there could be a
Totally.
chance for the 105.8s to be in the fit on the cusp as well.
I mean, the bottom three are all realistically within a tenth. I mean, that's you know, I mean, you can see, yeah, the whole division is, you know, less than a second apart.
Yeah,
It, this is a very very tense thing in my opinion, because we literally cannot predict who's going to come out on top here.
yeah, that's absolutely right. We have no idea how is it going to pan out on the dying moments of Q2.
I think we'll probably now see a few of the drivers come out and, oh sorry, a few of the bottom drivers come out and try and repeat in a lap, maybe in the other softs. I think the likes of Chrome and the two Ferraris, and maybe, yeah, like you see, he's just retired. He's
Screely's
fully
retired.
confident that he
He's
is in a
confident that he's
Q3.
safe.
As we see, who is that coming out of the pits
That's
there? Is
lovely
that
Colt.
that's Colt? Like I say, he's one of the bottom three. He's coming out. He's strapped down and said the other stuff. He's going to try to set a fast lap. He's playing it safe. And I think Gunnar and Scott probably are going to follow suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too big a risk not to, really.
There's a lovely Colt is now on his outlap, warming up the ultra soft tyres. We have seen plenty of ultra soft runners in the past. In season 3, they're not shown to be lasting that long. I think the only time that the
Yeah.
ultras have lasted that long was, I think it was, well, I would say Monaco, but it's not really a speed track. It's mainly a handling circuit.
No, it's not. And what I've also noticed is with the other softs is that they're not as good in the rain as what they used to be. Oh look, he's ran wide and he's going to cancel out both of his laps there. I mean, that's
Hit the exit. Hits the apex of turn 9. Hits the sausage curb. Sprung his car up.
yeah.
This could be a big problem for people that's running a low ride height setup as Kosher retires. So he's confident that he's going to be safe as well.
I mean, Colt needs to get round here pretty quickly in order to set another lap. I mean, he's not being conservative, or he's still using the high ARS. So I wonder if he's potentially got away with running wide. I mean, I don't see how he would have, but you know, he's still running a hot lap.
And it looks like Smithy and Top Gunner is on an outlap, but not Scott. Scott seems to be pretty adamant that he's going to be safe.
Realistically, Scott hasn't got time for.
Yeah. He's a bit too late now.
Is Scott going to get across the lap in time for it? Yes, he is, obviously. So he's going to.
He's got the fastest lap. But he was.
Oh, hang on, he did get away with it.
He's got away with it. He's going to start on the ultras though. It's going to be a huge downside for him.
But I think if Top Gunnar does improve on his lap time, which he's strapped on a set of other softs, he's probably going to. I think that's Scott out in Q2.
Yeah. Scott's made a massive mistake of not going to set another lap. As Top Gunner exits out of turn 3, even though it's basically turn 3, but it's turn 2. And now,
Correct.
very
wrong
hard.
here, but I think Q2. If you use the tire in Q2, you stop
Yes.
racing the tire, right?
Yep,
That's
yep,
happened with
yep.
GP3.
You start that tyre in
So-
Q2.
I mean, Smithy's here just driving along nicely, you know, trying not to get a lot of wear out of the tyres. So is this a strategy move from Smithy? Or
I'm not entirely sure, really. Because we normally
let's see
see
how quick Talguna gets around here into the last corner.
Takes it very neat though on the exit of turn 9.
Oh, and he
Goes
goes fast
fastest.
to 1 minute 5.2.
0.231.
Excellent lap from Guna there.
Very, very good lap. And pushes Scott down to 11th.
Yeah, and there goes Scott, unfortunately.
Oh, it does look like the Smithy is on the Ultras, but by the looks of it, he's only testing them to see what they're like.
Yeah, I mean, he dives into the pits there. I think that is a strategic call from Smithy. Oh, as he gets a big bit of a
slight bang on the wall.
Yeah.
So there we have it for Q2, and Scott, Horn, and Manzi are knocked out. Horn's going to be knocked out of Q2. I think that's probably because of it's either strategic or not being in anyone's way. So
I mean, if I was Scott and that was a strategic call, the super softs were the last there, I would have chosen to start at the back. I mean, I think I would have probably, if I was in Scott's position, if this was a strategic call, I would most likely strap on a set of softs and then step my lap and then sit out the session. But I can't see how sitting with the super softs to start the race is going to benefit Scott.
Well, we'll have to find out at the end of Q3, as we'll find out on the final grid positions. So that is it for qualifying 2. Top Gouda and Lovely Colt are both going to be starting on the Ultra Softs. Whereas 3rd to 10th are going to be starting on the Softs. Scott, Horn and Manzi have been knocked out of Q2. So
I think Guna's and Lovely's Ultra Soft isn't a strategic call. I mean, that was certainly just a call to get out of that bottom 3.
Yeah.
I think that's them too. You just hit panic mode and thought, right, I need to stay a quick lap here, otherwise I'm not going to get into Q3. And depending on where they finish within this qualifying session, nobody knows now if that's going to come back and bite them or not.
Because I think this track is a big, like a massive. I know that people used to absolutely adore this track because of the way it flows. But for others, they'll find it to be very, very painful and excruciating to try and set like a time or to be consistent in the race.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if you make like what I think it's like, if you make one slight error, you lose like about 3/4 of a tenth per lap. If you make one mistake, one slight mistake, like a little bit of oversteer or slight hesitant on throttle or slight hesitant in steering, just lose such little time, but it could cost you on the long run.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Like I said before, there's very little margin for error on this track. Like you've just demonstrated there about the losing about 1/4 of a tenth per mistake. I mean, it's so easy to lose time on this track, and in my opinion, it's a little bit harder to gain it back than what it is to lose it. And I don't really know how drivers are setting such consistent lap times around here in the race, because there is such a small margin of error. I mean, in my opinion, it's got a similar margin for error in Monaco.
Yeah.
Because like there's barriers on your right hand and your left hand side for the whole thing. There's literally no room for error at all. And that is driving wise. Like rather than
emotional goes very wide onto turn 1 there. I think that's the key example of turn 1. Even though if you take it perfectly, it just tends to veer your car a little bit more to the left side. I think somewhere in turn 1 there's like a hidden dip which just unsettles the car a little bit and makes it understeer.
Yeah, and there is an elevation change there. By just watching Coaster go out and restart like there is a slight elevation change into turn one. There is a drop. I mean, you can see in the turn two, it does the height does increase, and then it drops again onto the straight. You can see this elevation change in the track if you actually look for it.
Yeah.
And I think that is what catches most drivers out, because you can kind of see the drop causing a little bit of under or oversteer depending on how quick you're going through it.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's causing the mistakes of the drivers.
So Lovely Colts hits the benchmark lap with a 1 minute 5.285, as Soti Clock does a 1 minute 4.913. Top Gunner with a 1 minute 5.448. Paraquicks with a 1 minute 5.167. Rome with a 1 minute 5.350. Puts him sneakily into fourth.
Let's see what Kosher clock's in here. I think it's going to be 1 minute 6. Yeah. Been quite slow laps in comparison to the from 6th and 7th in comparison to the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost a second. It's actually that's more. There's more than a second between 5th and 6th.
Yeah. I think it's about just over a second between 5th and 6th. As Takuna enters into the pits, and a bit emotional now, goes on to the last corner, takes it a very, very neat, misses the exit curb of the last corner, does a 1 minute 5.466. And then Smithy replies with a 1 minute 5.375. So he has bounced back from that then, from that slow lap.
But I think Kosher might be going for another hot lap. However, he is 29 thousandth of a second slower in sector 3. As he dives into the pits there,
he's backed off. So now go on to Chill. Coming up to the louder S's. So who do you think for Q3? Who do you think will get pole for the start of the race?
I mean, looking at the current pace, I think I'm going to put my money on someone like Colt, because I think he's got a lot more to give than a 1.52. I think we might see a potential pole position here from Colt, or maybe even the debutant Chrome, because once again we've got an extremely tight top 6, top 7 even. Like, they're all within 5/10. You know, I mean, that's like, we don't even see that in real Formula 1 these days. You know, there's always that 1 second gap between the midfield and the back markers, and I think to have such a tight qualifier is extremely entertaining, because you literally you cannot physically guarantee who's gonna put myself onto the top step here. But Chill has just went 5/10 quicker.
On his, I think that was his
sector 2.
I think that was his benchmark lap, but it was sadly got invalidated as he goes on to the last corner and barrages his way out. It does 1 minute 4.8
from Chill. Excellent lap there.
Very good, strong lap.
I mean, I think
there.
that there is a perfect example of how uncertain we can be on who's going to take the top step here. I mean, I did not expect that for 1 minute from Chill there.
No.
I mean, literally, we could. I mean,
discreetly with a 1 minute 4.830.
5,000th of a second quicker than the previous that we've just seen. And there again is a perfect example of how we cannot physically say who we're going to take pole here. It is literally anyone's drive.
It is anyone's game at this point, yeah.
But I think, looking at the fact that it took 3 laps for Chill to get that 1 minute 4.8 could be a potential, you know, a potential look about to say, hang on, is it consistent? Because you've got to streak it there on 1 lap with the fastest lap, and it took Chill 3 attempts to get. Is that potentially
get that lap right? Yeah.
So are we going to see multiple penalties here in the race simply because of track limits? I think probably yes.
I think so as well. Oh, goes very wide on the exit of turn 9. And he does not, he does do a 1:49, but it was invalidated because of the last corner.
Now
He'll be very gutted. Yeah, they'll jump in
you can
ahead
see
of
the work he's put into
Paraquix.
that lap there. I mean, that would have scored him somewhere in the top 3.
Yeah. So now go on to Paraquix. So for the end of qualifying, who do you think is going to be the one to watch for the race? Because at the moment,
In my
have
opinion,
no clue.
I think the 3 drivers who've been out in Q2. Because
Really?
Now they can sit back and look, especially Horndog who crashed out. I think he can sit there and look back and know, right, I know my limit now. Now I've just got to make sure I keep that straight in the race.
Yeah.
We'll potentially see the likes of Mandy and Scott and Horndog cutting through the field here at the start because they know where and when not to go wrong now.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Scott as well because he's on the super soft in comparison to everyone else, other than the 2 drivers who obviously took 1 and 2 in Q2.
Yeah.
Scott's going to go longer, and if Scott puts in a solid first stint, it could be easily in contention for a top 5, top 4 finish.
As long as you try and set consistent lap times on the soft tyres, and then take them as long as possible, and then try and go for try and pit a little bit earlier on the soft stint and go on the supers, then you could possibly be on some proper good, fresh super softs, and hopefully with the pace and the consistency that he had on the softs will transfer onto the super softs.
Yeah, I do agree there. However, the problem is with Austria, it isn't obviously a heavy overtaking track. You know, there's not many opportunities to get past there. So I think that's also there's also a sign there for us to think, is this going to be an action-packed race? I think absolutely, as Chrome goes fastest there.
1:47.
Like I said, I think Chrome might be a one to watch because from what we've seen from the past 2 qualifying sessions, yeah, Chrome looks very, very quick around this track.
As Para does a 1:4.816.
His teammate there by 14 thousandths of a second.
14,000, yeah. 14 thousandths. I'll have a look at Smithy.
Where's he going to come out here?
Smithy.
How quick he's been detected too.
After having such an incredible performance at France, he's now hoping to continue with the performance here at the Red Bull Ring.
2 very different tracks though. I would say
it's different.
Comparing the 2. Let's see where Smithy comes out here.
1:4.843. 13 thousandths behind discreetly.
I mean, just look at that top 6 there. They're all within like 0.2 of each other exactly. Actually, if you look at that, 0.2 exactly. I mean, we normally see that with GP1. You know,
GP1, GP 1.1, yeah. So now we're on the dying moments of Q3 with 40 seconds to go.
It looks like discreetly here is going to try and get these lap.
Who will come out on top? And who will start the pole position?
And turn 9 takes that very neatly. I think this looks like a very fast lap for discreetly as he
discreetly.
Provisional pole position there.
6. That's pole at the moment with Chill doing a 1:4.815. With Colts now going on to turn 9 and goes wide. As he now goes across the line.
Coming around the last turn now. He takes that neatly. Uses a nice bit of exit curve there. However, I don't think it's going to be enough for pole position.
Colt has retired on track, so that means he will get penalised for that. And it looks like the clock does not improve. He's now stayed at 7th, but can be emotional. Try and pip him off as he now crosses the line, which he doesn't. which now leads to Top Gunner taking it very good on the exit there, crosses the line. It's invalidated. Yeah, it's time invalidated. Very unfortunate from there. And it looks like Smithy.
Wow,
As we
Smith
was
was very, very fast lap there.
As we was focusing from 7th to 10th, or 7th to 9th, sorry, Smithy does a 1:46.92.
10,000th of a second off of discreetly there.
100th off.
This is a very, very close battle here between all the drivers for that one. Like, this has been a qualifying that has been closer than any other qualifying that we've seen here in GP2, I think. But by the looks of it, that is your top 10.
That's the top 10.
Discreetly steals pole position out of nowhere there from what was Chrome and gets knocked down to third by Smithy's absolute steamer of a 1.46.
Chill. Sneakily set in a very good, strong, dominant lap. From Discreetly there. He did say in past practice that he is quite confident around this track. Showed some strong confidence.
That's the key around here. You've got to be confident and know the limits. Otherwise, I've seen several times you get your laps invalidated, which could have potentially been massive game changers for the race.
Yeah. So that's it. There we have it for Q3. So Discreetly has done it once. Has set the fastest lap and will be starting on pole for Scuderia Ferrari with a 1:04.682. Smithy will be in second for the Renault Sport F1 team, just behind Discreetly, only 100th off with a 1:04.692. With Chrome in third with a 1:04.713 in the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes team engineers will be very, very happy for his debut. Well, that as well. There'll be a 5-minute break, and the race will start in quarter to 10. Well, at 9:45. And the weather looks a bit bleak.
Yeah, it does look like it's gotten a lot darker there in between.
Now this could be.
and the
Now
race.
this is good. This is good theory. Because the weather is slightly changed, that means the track is going to be colder. Could this benefit the soft tyres a lot more? Despite being them a harder compound. As we go on the race director, and there's only... No. Glock, Horde and Manzi are on super softs at the moment. They can change whenever they want. And obviously Top Gunner and Colt are the only ultra soft runners. Which is quite surprising.
About Chrome's debutant race. I mean, it's a very bittersweet kind of qualifying session for Mercedes.
Yeah.
With Scott obviously going out in Q2 and the debutant taking, what was it? Was that P4?
P3.
P3.
I think he jumped Colt by, I think it was by 900ths. 900ths of a second between Chrome and Colt at Q3. Shows you
that
a huge. Well, it wasn't a very minor comparison between the two.
I mean, yeah, that was an extremely close timing. You know, that was. I bet any money that party there is very, very tense, and the conversation the drivers are having now is probably similar to it was. You know, about how close that session was. I mean, and for Chrome to stand out and get third place on his debut and a second row start on your debut, in my opinion, is absolutely outstanding.
So he's doing exceptionally well for his debut, and I think for him, he's now, because of that confidence that he's now building up, he could be even more confident that he'll be following up for the next race after Austria, as long as he tries to keep the performance up at 100% and all flawless, no mistakes. We'll find out.
As long as he keeps the consistency he had in qualifying and takes out the race with him, I think Crum should be fine and potentially be in for the podium. As long as he can keep his race clean and he's driving nice, I think that Crum could potentially even be a contender for the win here. I mean,
I think you do have a very, very good point, because the way Chrome has been performing through Q2 and Q3, it's been showing some very good consistent amount of pace throughout the two qualifying sessions.
You look at Smithy, I mean, he was doing 1 minute 6, 1 minute 5, 1 minute 6, 1 minute 6, 1 minute 5, then hit a 1 minute 4. I mean, for Chrome, it was low 1 minute 5s, which were gradually decreasing until he got that 1 minute 4. Which, that is like superb consistency in comparison to the cars in front of him. You know, I mean, discreetly on the other hand did show excellent consistency too.
Shows excellent,
with the way he was setting his lap times.
Yeah, excellent consistency and also a good drive throughout the exits of the corners. Discreetly there.
I think
showing the I think it was the slingshot technique in turn 2, and then getting a very good late apex on turn 4.
Yeah.
Just shows that getting on the taking that late apex, you can get on the power a lot earlier, and just let the torque and also the hybrid of the 1.6 V6 turbo to kick in and to get the back end of the car to hunker down. So we are now almost ready for the race. But it could be a slight delay.
Turn 45. Is that going to be?
Yeah, it looks like Smithy is readying up. So we are going to be starting.
Here we go.
The 36th lap Grand Prix of Austria. We'll do like a one quick summary for the next track, which will be Silverstone. We do not know what the weather's going to be like at Silverstone, but I would say that there are rumours saying it's going to be a wet race across all divisions, but we do not know at the moment, as they're now going to start their flying lap. So we'll be handing over to Sam Fuller to do the rundown of the grid for the formation lap.
Starting in pole position is Discreetly, which looks like he's kind of blew away from the rest of the grid. I think that was quite a poor start from a poor practice start from Smithy, who is shortly followed behind the debutant of Chrome, who set an excellent lap in qualifying. Shortly behind him is Colt, who also set an excellent lap and was lucky to get out of Q2 and never mind getting a P4 for Q3. Behind Colt is Chill, who was unfortunately knocked off a top 3 position in the last moment of Q3 there, followed by Para, who also was pipped off by his teammate in the dying moments of Q3. Shortly behind him is Clock, who is in the Force India and has been setting excellent lap times all weekend, and once again unfortunately got knocked off in Q3. Behind him is Being Emotional, who does show excellent consistency in the race, but like we've seen today, you know, his qualifying pace is great, but it could be better. Also, behind him we've got Top Gunner in the Williams, who didn't really make much of a stand in the qualifying sessions. Behind him in 10th position is AMJ Kosher, who was setting very, very, let's say, conservative lap times during qualifying. Shortly behind him, who was dropped out in Q2, is Scott in the Merc, who was starting on the super soft tyre. Behind him, who crashed out in Q2, is Horndog, which started on the soft, which is one to watch. And at the very back of the grid in 13th position is Manzi in the Renault, who suffered from a qualifying ban this weekend. So here we are as we go to 5 red lights at the Austrian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, here we go.
And it looks like Discreetly's actually gone off to a bit of an okay start, and it looks like that Colt's actually gone off to a very, very good start. It goes onto the inside of turn 1, but Smithy defends very, very well onto lovely Colt there, and it looks like Clock's going to be right up to the back of... Trying to go on the back of Paraquicks, but it looks like Colt...
awful start there.
I think Colt kind of got a little bit...
Well, shot up the inside there, I think, of Clock.
Was caught napping by Paraquicks at that point.
I think so, yes.
Top Guna is now behind Chill. Race very, very early. So just trying to notice the braking points a little bit. Has been emotional. Has now closed the gap onto Top Guna, despite Top Guna braking very early onto turn 4. Now onto turn 6. Takes it a very, very neat line indeed. And it looks like Sotia Clock is trying to reduce that gap off of Lovely Colt a little bit. And it does look like Lovely Colt is lagging a little bit, but doesn't seem to be affecting the drivers. As Sotia Clock goes down the inside onto turn 8. A little bit go wide from Colt there. Colt sticks it onto the inside onto turn 9 and gets 4th. A brilliant move from Clock there.
Other Colt is in the slipstream. But it doesn't like he was limited to move there after going side by side with Chill into turn 1. Colt does shoot up the inside on the straight, takes it up into the grass with him, and a little bit more grass again.
And it looks like he's going to get caught napping again by Chill.
Chill there. So Chrome is getting his way back up the rankings after having an awful start from from 3rd position down into, I think he went all the way down to 11th with his teammate Scott, who started in P11.
Well, it looks like Binomotional's onto the inside of Chrome on the exit of turn 4. Now they're approaching into onto turn 6. Oh, Scott brakes very, very late. Almost hit the back end of Chrome there. As they now go onto turns 6 and 7. Chrome is still on the back of Binomotional at this moment as we go on to Lovely Colt, who is trying to reduce the gap onto Chill, but somehow is getting a little bit of dirty air off the Williams at this point, as we are now on to DRS. DRS is now enabled. Chill with a little bit of a wiggle on the exit of turn 1.
However, it does look like there is a very big battle at the back here between the two Mercedes. Chrome goes up the inside of Scott, but Scott does what he can to get the position back. Flings on the back of Chrome, and let's see if he can do anything into turn 3 here. No, he doesn't. He sticks behind nicely as Chrome locks up slightly.
Oh, looks like Horn's going to try and go for a move onto old Manzi. Well, it doesn't look like he didn't get it stick, as Manzi defended very, very well onto the inside line.
Yeah, I think Horn is still working on trying to get his tyres up to temperature here. Like we can see, he's running a little bit wide into them corners, them DS's. But Manzi seems to be sticking down on the super soft. I think he's on alright.
Oh, we have a look on AMG Kosher as Paraquick sets the fastest lap at the moment, but now goes on to Chill.
Oh, and Horn Dog.
Oh, Horn Dog looks like he's lost a lot of time.
And Kosher goes massively ahead there, and looks like he's going to proceed on to getting behind Manzi into a very threatening position for the runner there. As we see, he's got to come up the inside of, around the outside of Chrome.
On the outside of Chrome.
Very, very wobbly there.
2.
He leaves the space. Can he get the
slight bit of bank tyres, but
the straight? Yes, he can.
It's fair. But it looks like Chrome's not backing down. He's now on the charge again onto turn 4. Again with a little bit of bang tyre, but giving them a lot of room. Makes it stick nonetheless. So we'll now go on to Paraquicks.
This top 3. It looks like
for the lead.
Smithy is clinging on to the street here. Looks like he's using his ERS a lot more conservatively rather than what the Ferrari is. But the top 3 are all within DRS radius of each other.
There's a bit of an accident, and it's Lovely Colt. Lovely Colt has just lost it on turn 8. Which does mean that his ultra cooked after that half spin. So now go back onto Paraquicks. And it looks like there's another yellow flag, and it is Colt again. So that does mean that his ultras are now no longer useful.
Pretty much
Pretty
worthless
much gone.
in a situation like this. Now it looks like Smith might be having a few connection issues here with
Oh, we'll have a look on
the
Top
one red
Gunner.
bar
Trying to
popping
go
up.
onto the inside, a bit emotional, and clips the curve a little bit. It's kind of slowed him down.
And he's playing on though and keeping into sector 1 of the next lap.
We'll now go back onto the top 3 at this moment. And it did look like the Chrome was almost on the verge of overtaking Top Gunner, but then had a little bit of oversteer.
Ferrari is closing his gap to Smith. He's going to go for a move on the inside. No, he doesn't. He stays nicely behind. However, I think he's going to catch Smith. No, he doesn't. Doesn't get a move done there. And he cuts Smith. He napping up the inside of turn 2.
Jill managed to keep him ahead of Clark, and it looks like Colt's gone into the pits.
Smithy, however, on the other hand, is really gaining on the speed right now.
Oh, we'll have a look on Chrome. He's gone onto the inside of Top Gunner, giving him a bit of space. But now Chrome is going to be on the outside line onto turn 5. And it looks like Top Gunner's defended very well. Defended perfectly against Chrome there. So we'll now go back onto the top 3. We'll also be looking at Clock as well, as it does look like the Clock's going to be utilising the DRS. Coming up onto turn 1 is on the outside, on the ideal racing line.
To discreetly get rid of the grass there, and Smithy's gaining on him massively.
Oh, and it looks like Chrome has overtook Top Gunner. And it looks like Clock has overtook Jill. And that's
Smithy
gone.
is massively gaining on discreetly now. I mean, he's got the gap to basically nothing.
Mans is out.
And he keep it. Oh, what's happened, Manzi? What happened?
I think he kind of lost it on the approach of turn 3. Well, turn 2. And it looks like Scott has now overtook Top Gunner. So that does mean that the... Oh, and it looks like Top Gunner with the acceleration of turn 5. A beautiful move, and it looks like Clock's now going on the inside of turn 8 of Jill.
Right in the top 3, I think Kara's going to get the move down on Smithy at turn 1 here.
It does look like it. Oh, there's a little bit of a tap.
Oh, but it didn't look like the touched on Para's screen, but it did obviously on Smithy's. I think that is going to cause a bit of a split between the two drivers there. However, can Smithy take the move back within the following laps?
So now go back onto Clock and Jill. As Clock locks up a little bit.
Yeah, was forced to take a very wide line around there.
Kosher was actually having a sneaky little look onto on Horn, but decided to not go for it, as Smithy is now right behind Paraquix's gearbox.
It does overshoot that little turn there and loses that gap from 1 pin down to 4.
I think it was because of the oversteer. I think it was because of the oversteer that he had on turn 4 on the exit.
It goes a little bit wide at turn 9 there. And looks like he's going to be so far back that
Rome gets the first 3-second time penalty.
the DRS was basically useless there because it didn't have a great effect.
Now
He was still behind Para there.
and Scott's coming in after 9 laps.
I think all the
So
stuff
for a wing change.
runners are having a bit of bother with their tyres because it did look like Smithy was catching a little bit of oversteer like you said.
Yeah, on the super softs, so it does mean that the track is actually getting a little bit colder.
This is potentially a site of rain.
Oh, again!
Maybe.
A little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 4. And the last time that we had rain here in Austria was, I think, last season for GP1, but it was only a dry to wet race.
Looks like Froome is slightly struggling.
Smithy.
Smithy gets a time penalty. Pushing too hard, I guess. Trying to
Yeah.
get back onto the gearbox of the Para. However, Associate Club he's closing that gap to Chill.
And it looks like Chrome's also catching up to a bit emotional as well. As we will stick onto Chrome, utilising the DRS onto bit emotional.
He gets that gap from big to basically null. Oh, he's getting over there in turn 2 there.
Oversteer. Oh, looks like there's a bit of a side-by-side battle with Chill and Clock.
So Chill moved in there, but as Scott gets the time down here as well. Obviously Chill's ran a bit wide there, causing Clock to get right back onto his gearbox. Clock just needs to put in some massive consistency to get back onto the straight. As Clock gets a time penalty and discreetly gets a time penalty.
I think Discreetly's now starting to struggle on his super soft tyres. Oh, it looks like Clock goes a little bit wide on turn 9.
Clock goes wide on both the apex and the exit of turn 9. Well, I think Chrome is closing in on being emotional. He gets DRS.
Gets DRS, but by the looks of it, Emotional gets much better traction out to turn 1.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
As Discreetly tries to go for a move on his teammate. As Chrome, I think, locks up on turn 4 and misses the apex, has now lost 2/10 because of that. Oh, it looks like Bit Emotional's had a little bit of a slide and just missed. Ooh.
Lost out on positions there. The Honda, Chrome, Guna and Kosher now.
Clock's gone into the pits at lap 12.
Honda gets a time penalty there.
As Clock, by the looks of it, is on the soft tyres.
Discreet is going to look to close the gap between his teammate here on the DRS straight.
And we now go on to Bit Emotional. I will try and get back onto the battle between Paraquix and Discreetly. Bit Emotional is now going on to a set of Ultra Softs.
I think right about now is where we're going to start seeing the gaps in the field form due to the round of pit stops.
Yeah, it's very, very close to everyone's pit window.
Runs wide out of turn 9.
And Smithy now enters into the pits.
Smithy comes in, what is Smithy's strategy going to look like here?
You can see the blistering on the super softs.
Instead of softs there for Smithy, he's going to try and pull off the one stop here. Oh, but
23 laps.
Goes in on his teammate. His Clock gets another time penalty, I think.
I think that's his first time penalty. I do not know. At the moment, it does look like that Discreetly is finding the traction that he needs on the exits of the corners. And
However, it
Paraquix.
did look like he kind of untucked his stuff from the slipstream there of his teammate. I'm not sure what that was about, but he kind of purposely stayed away from the slipstream of Para there. I don't know if that was down to a mistake or if that was
Possibly to try and avoid the dirty air, maybe.
Maybe, because yeah.
And it does look
I think Para is
like
going to come into the pits here. Yes, he is. Discreetly retakes the lead.
Discreetly will be taking the lead. and takes provisional pole at the moment. As we see on Paraquix, he's on a set of softs. Chill now jumps into second.
Chrome now sits nicely. Oh,
And
he's
Horn.
going to the pits there. Yes, he has. Looks like a
Horn
very, very busy pit lane at
jumps
the
to
moment.
third. As
It's
clocks his
clocked as the
fastest
fastest
lap.
lap on a set of softs there. That's somewhat surprising.
Yeah. Well, now, dude. Chrome now exit out of the pits. Top Gooner's in the pits, and same goes with Kosher. As now Scott jumps Kosher. Has been emotional sets fastest lap. 107.554. We'll
Kosher's got in front of Emotional there.
have a look at Smithy, and it looks like those softs that Smith is using are starting to kick in as he now gains and discreetly now goes into the
Yeah,
pits.
they are. Let's see, can he get the move? Oh, sorry, the gap closed on Para. But let's get a bit of a battle is brewing in 10th and 11th position between Emotional and Kosher.
Does look like it.
He came into the pit and Horn Dog goes into second place. Is that the soft
Oh, and it
strategy
looks
working
like,
for the Red Bull?
and it looks like discreetly's got jumps by Smithy.
Oh, the undercut has worked there by...
The undercut has
Sorry, the
worked
over. Yeah, it has.
for Smithy.
He gets a little bit of a kick of oversteer there.
Yeah. We will stick on to Smithy. Has been emotional, overtakes Kosher.
He's going to go for the move. No, he's not as parked straight back in front of him. There wasn't enough time there for them to get the move done in sector 3 there. That's his last chance to get the move done on this lap. As he goes for it into turn 8, which is very, very risky.
Chill now enters into the pits. Oh, you can see a little bit of dirty air coming off of Paraquix. And slows Smithy a little bit. As Horn Dog now enters into the pits as well. So Paraquix now jumps back into the lead.
Discreetly's been robbed of pole position here by his teammate and Smithy.
Yeah.
And Smithy looks to the inside, sorry, the outside of
On the outside, he's
one,
going to try and
two,
go for
sorry.
a switch back. But it looks like Paraquix has got
Gets the
good traction
DRS.
out of the exit. But look
Goes
at
to
the
gap,
speed of that
he
Renault.
goes for the outside.
It's going for the outside line.
Oh, very late on the brakes from Paris. Smithy goes to the inside
Oh, a
the
little
pole.
bit of contact.
He's hugging the outside lane there. I think that the lag got in the way, causing Parrot to keep position. Parrot leaves him room.
This is going to give Smithy a huge
However,
downfall.
discreetly here, but a bit of a dark horse. This battle between them two has slowed them down massively. And discreetly here,
As Kosher gets a 3 second
Kosher
time
gets
penalty,
a
Smithy
time
goes
penalty, he goes
super
wide.
wide.
and again,
again.
he's pushing extremely hard here. Is discreetly going to be able to take advantage of that and maybe even get past Smithy here?
As
Looks to the
Smithy now
inside, but
sneaks
says no,
sneaky
definitely
look.
not.
No. So we're now almost halfway through of the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's very close.
Scott picked another time penalty there.
That is a good aerial view
Smithy,
of the top 3 battling it out. As they now approach onto turn 4. It seems that discreetly, at the moment, is just buying his time and waiting for the right moment to pounce.
yeah, he's not pushing too hard at all, is he?
Oh. And it looks like Minimationals is now 8/10 behind Scott for the battle for 9th.
However, Kosher is creeping behind him with 6/10 there.
Horner looks like discreetly is going to try and have a go onto the inside onto turn 1. As they now both brake super hard. Going too wide on the first turn. Oh, there's a little bit of bang time, but
Austin
makes it
Smithy
stick.
wide and gets the move done.
I think
Absolutely excellent there.
They respected each other's space perfectly.
And Smithy bite back and get another move done as he lost the inside, but says no and tucked into the slipstream of the Ferrari. However, this is allowing Parra to pull away, and increasing his gap to 2 seconds is going to hurt in the long run. Just being emotional, gets past Scott there.
Now jumps up to 9th. And Smithy goes very wide on the exit of turn 5, and then turn 6 and 7. He loses a lot of time onto discreetly there.
The coach is gaining a lot of time on Scott here.
They will go on to Scott, but it looks like does actually look like discreetly made a little bit of a mistake on turn.
Yeah, Smithy has gained back a lot of time
9
there.
and gained a lot of time, but Clock
he gets the DRS.
is slowly gaining on Smithy and discreetly. Is
Smithy
now goes on to the inside.
Here. And he,
he
goes wide
overshoots.
into turn 2. Discreetly keeps
And
second
that was to
position
do
and
it all
currently is
over
a
again.
1-2 for Ferrari. However, Clock has come up to Smithy. This is now a 4-man battle. Well, a 3-man battle for second place.
Battle for second, yeah, because Paraquix is now pulling away.
Pulled off massively.
Yeah. Let's not forget Clock at the moment is on a 2-stop, whereas the top 3 are on a 1-stop.
True. Smithy gets another penalty there.
I think that's going to be a huge
Clock
downside
does
for
get
him.
a
And it looks like
big
Clock's
acceleration
going
advantage.
to go too wide onto turn 1. Oh, there's
Clock's up a little bit
slight
there, but gets the
bang
move done on
tyre.
Smithy.
There was some contact.
Oh, it looks like especially Clock has got an AI to record that clip there.
Yep.
As he comes back in, and it looks like Smithy's going to look up the inside here into turn.
Going to be hoping to try and get a little bit of
There's
revenge.
a bit of a switch over there, and Lag gets
A little bit of a
massively in the way
switch,
there
yeah.
right now.
But it doesn't look like there was any issues whatsoever. And it looks like Scott re-overtook Kosher and takes 10th.
And it looks like this has faded from a battle for second place into a battle for third between the Renault and the Force India.
Yeah, does look like it as well. But it looks
Smithy
like.
drops down to 4th.
Well, let's not forget Clock is on another set of super softs, so it does mean that his tyre wear seems to be letting himself down a little bit. That could possibly mean that Smithy will be retaking 3rd place. As Kosher retakes 10th from Scott again.
But the penalties into account here as well, but I think that Smithy on his 3rd instead of 3 second time penalties now.
Yeah.
Maybe second, I mean.
Bit emotional with a 3-second time penalty.
Like we've predicted in qualifying, there is lots of penalties coming about here.
Yeah. As Scott gets a little bit of oversteer on the exit of turn 3, and now opens DRS onto turn 4. Makes it nice and hard, and catapults his way to approach turn 5. Goes very, very wide. Misses the apex.
Yeah, he
Now
does
onto
that.
turn
I was all
6.
wheels.
Hits the apex. And on turn 7.
He's kind of central line there to turn 7.
Yeah. Now onto turn 8. Misses the apex on that one. That's a little bit. It's a huge factor to try and hit the apex on turn 8.
It's an excellent turn 9 there. very, very clean there from the Merc. However, it does look like his mistakes through 6, 7 and 8 have cost him slightly.
So
As
we'll go on
cautious
to
as to pull
clock.
away.
So we'll get back on to 70 o'clock. It's now on the hunt. On to discreetly, even though he does know that he is going to make another pit stop. Which I'm guessing he's going to pit in, I think, 5 or 6 laps time.
Yeah, I'd say probably around about lap 27, 26 is when window's going to open for clock.
As we now start lap 23 of 36, Paraquix is still in front with 5 position changes, with discreetly in second place, only 3 seconds behind him. With 30 o'clock, 4.3 seconds behind between him and the leader. Smithy in 4th, Chill 5th. Doing very consistently to hold position. Chrome, the debutant, lost 3 places after having a stunning performance in qualifying. Top Gooner jumps up to 7th from starting in 9th. Horndogs is now 8th from 12th. Mid-Emotional is now 9th. Kosher and Scott are 10th and 11th respectively. But strangely, the biggest loser of all is Colt. Starting 4th,
Yeah.
down to 12th.
Shame there for Colt, because he did have a good quality and he did put the work in at the start of the race. It's just a shame there a little mistake that cost him his race.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate from lovely Colt there. As Clark is now less than a second between him and discreetly.
Clark has annihilated that gap in the space of 2 or 3 laps there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's down to close to nothing now. However, it looks like he's pulled away from Smithy in the meantime as well. He's now 4 seconds behind the Force India.
And it also looks like the Chill is gaining on Smithy as well. So ever since the battle, between him and Paraquix, and getting the deep end of it, it's kind of given him a bit of a setback. All been emotional as left, so try and get him back.
He's disconnected
if possible. Try and invite him back if you can. As a clock seems to have fall back a little bit, as Chill is now getting close to Smithy at this point. So now go on to 30 o'clock. It's now jumped up to still in 3rd, as Chill is now less than a second between him and Smithy. By the time he overtakes Smithy, that means he will be taking 3rd place. Once Clock goes into the pits. I do apologise that he isn't doing a 2-stop. He's actually stuck for the 1-stop. It's just the tyre wear glitch. As Colt gets another time penalty. So we'll be sticking on to Clock at the moment, whilst Chill is going to be trying to stay behind Smithy at this point and trying to get a better line. Right. Alright then. Right, okay. Okie dokie, so
Message there from Emotional saying that he's not joining back the session. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think it was because of the... Could be the way the car felt. Possibly.
Not 100% sure. Maybe we'll have to get some answers after the race. Oh, it looks like is that Clock.
Oh, looks like Chill is
So Clock's
right
made a
into
mistake and he's...
Smithy's gearbox. Like what you said, Clock has now lost a lot of time onto the screen.
Yeah, I mean, he's decreased his gap from 4 tenths to 4 seconds.
So we now go on,
Oh,
so we now stick onto Chill. Sparrow-Quicks gets a 3-second
Alright,
time penalty.
Again, Chill get up the inside here of the Renault.
Chill's having a little
No,
sneaky
he
little
can't,
look,
as
but
he
he gets a
gets
3-second
squeezed out
time
there by
penalty.
Smithy.
It's very hard to try and go too wide in that corner. It's very, very hard.
It is extremely hard. Up into turn 2, it looks like Smithy's got a little
looks like
wide and Chill
Smithy's
can
made
get
a
up the
little bit of
inside
down.
there as he opens his
Made a
DRS, can he
mistake.
get past? However, it looks like Smithy has got a little bit more traction out of that corner there, even though he
Yeah.
did run wide. However, Chill looks to beat him on the brakes into turn 5.
Try and beat him on the
Turn
brakes
4
onto
to
turn
5.
4, is now approaching to turn 5. He's now on the outside line, he's got to stick it to
Was
stay
around
on the
the
outside.
What a move
And
by Chill,
makes it
absolutely excellent
stick.
drive there from the Williams as
That's
he
a
makes
very
it stick
good
up here
move.
on the outside of turn 5.
Very tricky to try and go for an
Brilliant
overtake.
driving there from Chill.
That's, yeah, very, very good driving from Chill.
However, Smithy does pull straight up with his gearbox there and runs wide into turn 8. It's a bit of ticket over steer at turn 9 by the looks of it, and Chill does escape from
Chill's
what
got,
would be an effective slipstream.
problem is though is that Smithy's gonna get even more problems because Chrome is now catching up as well. The debutant, and it looks like discreetly, I think he's got blocked a little bit by,
Yeah, he has.
by one of the back markers. And we are getting back markers at this moment.
However, I think Cole's car is an AI car as of now.
Ooh, I kind of
I think that's...
got Clock a bit confused.
Yeah, I did there, didn't
And it looks like Chill's going to get lost a lot of ground because of the back marker, and Smithy now retakes 4th.
Yeah, he has his position back there after incident with the back markers. I mean, he's got to take the opportunity when he can if he wants a podium in this race.
Yeah.
But I'd probably be in 1 in there for Chill as well, the way he's going over that curb into turn 1.
Oh, and it looks like Chrome's lost a lot of time as well. It's been overtook by Top Gooner.
However, I think that big mistake there from Clock has allowed Smithy to massively catch up into turn 2 there. Throws a little bit
Yeah.
of traction onto the straight. But once again, I think Smithy is in for a podium. If he can get him move past us, Clock locks up. And loses a
Clock
lot
locks
of
up a
time
little
there.
bit. Chill is also still sticking between the Force India.
A little bit of another lock up there. Can Smithy take the inside as he goes into turn? Ooh, very, very risky move there from Clock. I think there's a bit of contact there between the two drivers.
Yeah, I think there was a slight bit of contact there.
Another lock up from Clock. I think he's really, really panicking over the pressure here between the battle with Smithy and even Chill in the background there. But it looks like Smithy is going to get a big advantage here on acceleration into turn 1. Can he take it up the
beautifully.
inside? Yes, he can.
Beautifully done.
Absolutely excellent move there from Smithy, and that was a brilliant bit of driving there from the Renault. However, he's now 8 seconds behind the Ferrari, and it does look like a pretty solidified 1-2 here from the... Oh, his Clock missed his braking
for
point.
the move and
Smithy gets a whack over here.
missed
And Clock goes
2.
down into 5th place.
Dear me. He tried to go for the move, but nowhere. Which cost him another place.
Massive shame there for Clock in the Force India. I mean, did have a good race setter from there. I mean, he could even challenge for 3rd place with
Clock
Smithy,
goes a little bit wide on the gravel.
who's had him there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's like Chill is sticking behind Smithy though, and he's probably going to look at getting moved in here onto the main straight. Smith's got a little bit of traction there and has gone away quicker. Oh,
and it looks like I think Chill lost a little bit of front wing as well.
Carbon Fire did splatter out there. But he's still going to attempt the move here, and if this just goes a little bit of understeer, I think Smithy will not be happy.
There's a little bit of contact, but look at Chill with the traction. The traction they got from the Williams.
Looks like Smith's going to try and bite back here. He's used DRS onto the third straight.
Oh, nowhere to be seen.
Nice.
So now on the lap 31 or 36.
Definitely a hint of third degradation there.
Yeah.
Preventing Smithy from keeping it with Chill. And Chill's managed his tyres a little better than what Smithy hasn't.
Well, Chill's tyres are 3 laps newer than Smithy's. And 3 laps less worn.
But I think that is Smithy is gaining here massively on the pit straight.
Yeah, he is.
Follows Chill nicely behind his. Chill runs wide.
Goes wide.
Out of turn 1. Smithy uses DRS and looks to close that gap and tries to looks at the inside. Brakes reasonably early
brakes a little bit early, but it looks like it made it stick a little bit. Still got the DRS as well.
However, the traction out of turn 2 there.
The traction that Chill got was a little bit
massively.
Seems to overpower him a little bit as Crow gets the
DRS.
fastest lap. Over 1 minute 7-1.
However, Smithy does make it stick into the S's.
The thing is, though, is that Smithy battling with Chill does mean that the Ferraris are pulling away.
Yeah, they are, and that is going to massively help their 1-2 is going to massively help their lead in the championship standings.
It's going to increase the not only the drivers' championship for Paraquicks, but also increasing the constructors for the Scarlet Red Ferrari. As we're now on to lap 33 or 36. So now the big question is who are we going to give driver the day to? As Chill goes super wide.
Breaking point, but Smithy gets
looks like Top Gunner. I don't think anyone got DRS on that part. But it looks like Top Gunner's got a very good straight line speed.
And
slight
massive lap there from Clock.
Well, it looks like Top Gunner made it stick.
Are we going to see? Are we going to see Clock try and bite back here at Laguna, or is he going to set up a 6th place?
Well, I don't know at this point. We're now on to lap 34. Scrilly has actually gained 4 tenths at one point. It's now 2.7 seconds off his teammate.
Wonder if Para is going to... I mean, Para's tyres already won that road then. I mean, having that clean air definitely has benefited him, but...
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like Clocks just went very deep into turn 1 there. Cost him a lot of time from Guna. However, Chill does still stay at the gearbox of Smithy.
I think it's because that ever since Chill's getting the traction out of turn 3, it gets the gap a little bit more closer onto turn 4.
Then again, back onto the topic of driver of the day, who do you think is a potential?
Oh, I don't know. I literally have no clue. I would say Paraquicks.
Yes, I was going to say Paraquicks after starting in P5 or 6 and working to go to the top.
Paraquicks kept a consistent pace throughout qualifying, and then the strategy that he came up, despite his teammate pitting a lap later, it seems to be working off for not only for him but also for the team itself.
Yeah, totally, I did agree there, but it looks like Cole got another 3-second time penalty there. However, we can't be exactly sure because I'm sure Para
It's
has got
Kosher.
more time penalties than
Goes for the
Discreetly.
move onto Horn and made it stick. Has now got 7th.
I think we're forgetting here about the time penalties because if they just got gets another one. However,
And Horn now
Discreetly
goes
is
back onto the
within.
inside and completely mistimed his braking zone. And now goes back down to 8th. So as Paraquix now starts
lynching on
the final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. So it does actually look like the Paraquix will be getting driver of the day after the memorable performance and also keeping the consistent pace from qualifying and kept it into the race as well.
Yeah, you've got to credit Power here. I mean, he's had an excellent drive here from P6 in the first position. Oh no, what a shame for Scott on the last lap of the Grand Prix.
I think he will be getting the points because it was implemented with the 95% rule.
Still on the track there, and Para goes in the back of it. Obviously, Ghostin is off in this league, and Para just went in the back of Scott's Mercedes. That's cost him a shed all the time.
Yeah.
Got some hefty front wing damage. Luckily, it was in the 3rd sector, so it's probably not going to affect. But look at Discreetly's gap, it's halved.
It's halved a little bit, but it does actually look like that
Para has run away with the win here.
Paraquix
The second flag
takes the win.
The Red Bull Ring in Austria. Second place goes Discreetly, and that is a 1-2 for the Ferrari.
1-2 for the Scarlet Red team.
And it looks like Smithy's going to take 3rd place.
No, Chill takes 3rd.
Oh, Chill takes it.
Top Gunner gets
Smithy's been
3rd.
dropped into 5th because of penalties. Top Gunner takes 3rd place, and Chill takes 4th, and Smithy takes 5th. And Top takes 6th place. Let's see his contract clock's in at 7. One dog comes across the line, takes P8. His Colt takes P10 after being lapped. And Emotional takes 12th place after retiring. However, letting his car stay in the race earlier on today.
Absolutely
Massive shame for Smithy there because of
surprise performance there. So there we have it for the Austrian Grand Prix. Maurizio Arrivabene will be very pleased with Ferrari's performance. And I think Claire Williams will be very happy with Top Gunner's performance as well.
Yeah, I mean, he got away with the podium finish because of penalties. I mean,
yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Absolutely. So there we have it. And look at that, Top Gunner. No penalties.
Excellent drive from Top Gunner there.
I think we might need to change the decision, I think.
Yeah, I think, considering that every other driver has a penalty and Top Gunner doesn't, it stayed completely clean for the whole race.
Yeah.
Got a 9th on the grid into 3rd place. I think he's took the crown for my driver of the day.
I think so too. So there we have it for the Austrian Grand Prix. As we'll get Sam Fuller to get Paraquix Discreetly and Top Gunner in for the interviews, for post-race interview. Paraquix will now extend the Drivers' Championship lead, and not only that, and also with the 1-2 finish from Ferrari, it will also extend the Constructors. And I think
Also got to see
with Top Gunner getting 15 points and 3rd, it's going to be a commemorative performance and also bump up Williams as well.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, also commiserations to Smithy for losing out on that 3rd place drive because of penalties. I mean,
yeah, it's very, very unfortunate from Smithy there. So there we have it for the. We do have the top 3. Make sure to tick the box, guys, for the top 3. And we will be starting off with the winner of the Austrian Grand Prix, which is Paraquix. A
massive Para for that drive.
A brilliant performance there. in the race.
Yeah,
Paraquix, but you must feel absolutely delighted with that win.
well, quali, not really. It was pretty bad. I focused at training. I focused much more on the race pace. So I let quali go, and I was like, "Oh, I'm good with it." And then yeah, the race starts. Yeah, that was something, man. Holy shit! From P6 to P3 in the first corner, and that was pretty good.
You did actually show some huge, considerate amount of pace throughout the entirety of the race, and you had your strategy laid out, and you did actually have some very good commemorative battles after your pit stop.
Yeah, with the Smithy, we had a bit of touches as well. I'm not sure if anything of that got recorded, but we'll see. So, but yeah, it's a good team effort as well, because me and Discreetly had some good basis race, I think, for Ferrari, so I'm quite happy with that.
But you seem to be
We
very,
saw at
very
the
happy
end.
with Ferrari, with their performance as well. But
Just quickly, Para, we saw at the end, obviously Scott had a bit of an incident and retired from
Yeah,
Grand Prix in the final lap.
literally nearly blacked out there. Like, literally,
Yes,
I
I was
shit.
watching that as yeah, your gap to your teammate is like more than half. Did that panic you for a second? Or would it be
Yeah,
so
I thought I
late
had
in
a
the
flat
final
tire
lap?
on the back. It didn't feel right on my right rear tire. I thought I had a flat tire zone because my rear tire hit the back of the car. So I'm not sure, but yeah, I lost a lot of time there.
Yeah, but massive well done for carrying the win there. Excellent drive from you.
yeah, well done.
As we go on to your teammate Discreetly, you took pole position. What went wrong in the race today?
It was decent. I could have gone faster than what my pole up was, but yeah, but it was decent. In the race, the super soft tyres just didn't agree with me. I was expecting when Para was behind Smithy, I thought this is it. Them two were going to be battling it, allow me to get away. Because Smithy had the ARS on me, they were both just on my tail. With the battling, trying to defend, but trying to make a gap as well. It just wasn't happening. When I got on the soft compound tyre, I think my pace was pretty consistent.
Yeah, I do
My
agree.
penalty affected me a lot. I think it was a harsh time penalty that I got. I clipped the curb for like a millimetre. And I was in Scott's car and tired on track, and I was in two minds. I chose to go around the outside of the corner. Maybe I should have went around the inside. I probably would have got Para, but we'll never know. But I can't be too disappointed for a second after the past few races where I've been getting poor results.
Yeah, I do agree with you there. Massive well done for second place.
Yeah, well done Discreetly for getting second.
And
now go
on to Guna.
third, which is Top
Hello,
Guna.
mate, alright?
That was a massive
We
result
were
there for you.
well. At first, qualifying wasn't that great. Wasn't as good as you might think for your point of view.
Yeah.
I missed my qualifying right up. Ideally, I wanted to go on the super softs to start with, but I was just too slow on them, so I had to go out on the ultras. And then in Q1, I ended up qualifying 9th, so I was very disappointed with that. I thought I might as well have stayed on the super softs, but no, my race just seemed to go well. I managed to eke the tyres out a bit, and I was catching second and third at the end, and I had a sneaky suspicion they might have had a time penalty because I didn't have any, so I just tried to get it within the 3 seconds, and yeah.
Seem to have cracked it very, very well.
Yes, thank you.
I think another thing is that I think at one point, I'm not sure. I think there was an overtake that was quite good on your behalf. I don't know which one.
I can't remember. It was a little bit of a blur, really, the race. So
Yeah.
a few battles along the way, but no, I enjoyed it.
But you had a very interesting race, and you obviously, like you said, because the downside that you had in Q3, starting 9th, you just kept it cool and calm.
Yeah, stayed out of trouble. That was the main thing, really, I think.
But
And it
you
has
did
paid
very
off
well.
for you.
It's paid off.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
We'll be going on to the drive of the day. Now, at first, before the race ended, we were thinking of giving it to Para because of making up 5 places and also having very good battles. But we then didn't realise at the end of the race that Top Gunner didn't get any penalties and managed to get 3rd.
So,
despite of it, I wouldn't say it's not that more clean or not track limit focused. I'd say we'll be giving it to Top Gunner because of having that big problem at Q3 and just kept it calm, kept it consistent, and got himself 3rd place.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
So well done to you there, Top Gunner.
massive
yes,
well
thank
done
you.
to,
Well done, Power, on the win. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks. 4th win in a row, I think, is it? No?
Dominating, mate.
Well, next week people got a chance to win because at least get on the podium because I'm not there. So.
I do.
Would you like to say anything else, Sam, for the top 3?
nothing apart from a massive well done to the 3 drivers on the podium indeed. They've all massively deserved their positions. And we will see you next week in Silverstone.
Yeah, we'll be obviously going to Silverstone next week for GP2. And obviously, like what Para said, that you won't be there, sadly. So can discreetly keep the constructors alive and keep Ferrari in front. Or will so to clock try and reduce the gap of the Drivers' Championship for Silverstone. But that's it for Austria. This has been It's Phil 17, and I was alongside with the one and only Sam Fuller. And we'll be seeing you next week for the British Grand Prix. And as always,
Yes, we shall.
see you next week.